Hey guys, so here we are, episode 1 of the whole list of stuff I wrote down that we can cover. So this is basically just a YouTube channel, addition to my regular stuff on my YouTube channel. We're just going to kind of talk about motorcycles, and it's all going to be motorcycle talk, from different riding styles to just rider tips, tricks, all of it. I'm going to cover blind spots, tank slappers, tires, uh, dyno tunes, how to set the sag on your bike, everything we can possibly think of. If there's anything you guys would like to hear about, leave a drop it in the comments below. Today I'm just pretty much introduce myself, kind of go over my motorcycle history. I've been riding for a very long time. I started back when I was 20 years old, and no, I'm not going to tell you how old I am. You can guess. But my first bike was a 1990 Katana. Uh, Biggest, heaviest piece of crap I could possibly have bought. But it was a cool looking bike. If I can find a picture, I'll drop them in as we go. But it wasn't a bad bike. It was just very heavy. Old technology, carbureted, old 1990s Katana kind of stuff. Anyway, I did not feel like a samurai at all, or a ninja. Nothing. I just felt like, bleh. Anyway, it was red. It was okay. It was pretty cool. My next bike I bought brand new in 2004. It was a Yamaha R6. Fell in love with that bike. My plan was to be buried with it someday. That didn't quite go as planned. Don't ask why. Don't ask what happened. I just don't have it anymore. And no, I didn't wreck it. So then while I had my 04 R6, I acquired a 2005 R1 Raven. Amazing bike. Loved that thing. My ex had purchased it, and then I bought it from him when he was going to sell it, and then I kept it, and then I sold it back to the ex, and then somehow along the way I ended up stealing it, I guess. We won't get into all that, but good stuff. Anywho, long story short, and then after the 05 Raven was gone, I traded in my R6 for someone else to get something. I knew I wasn't going to cover it, but whatever. Anyway, and then I ended up getting my bike that I have now, which is an 2016 R1S. Now, I've been trying to get my bike for a long time. I tried in 2016 to get my bike, but I just couldn't do it at the time. So my bike was literally a gift from God. I named him Zane, which is kind of like, depending on what variation you look up of that name, it could be anything. But so Zane and I have been together now for a year and a half, almost 2 years. Love that bike. I will do an introduction to Zane Day. We will have a Let's Go Meet Zane Day. Probably the next video, so you can kind of see what I ride. And I'm going to do some videos too on the breakdown on just the text and just the technology that's on that bike. Because a lot of people will ask me, what's it like riding that bike? And literally it's like a computer on wheels. It's not like the good old days. It's not like the 04s and the 05s where you put a pipe on it, put on a power commander, and call it a day. This thing is insane. It's literally a computer on wheels. It's very cool. I love my bike, but it is definitely a whole new riding experience, and it's a lot different than the riding style had to, like, my own riding style had to update when I got that bike. Anyway, long story short, that's me in a nutshell. I've ridden quads, dirt bikes, all that stuff. I don't know what else to really cover right now. But videos are gonna cover pretty much everything I can think of about bikes, riding styles, different things that I've experienced, things that I've gone through. We'll cover like motorcycle clubs, all that good stuff. And like I said, if you guys have any questions or ideas of things that you want me to cover, go ahead and leave a comment below, and we'll see what happens. To be continued.